Welcome, New England Haunter here. I am Jamie. Today we are going to be continuing my Did It Work series, and man, I have to say I was looking through my schedule earlier this week and I realized we are more than halfway through this series. So that's super exciting for me because as I had mentioned in an earlier video, once we get past this series, we're going to be going back to weekly build videos. It's going to fall around the halfway to Halloween mark. So yeah, if this is your first time here, consider liking and subscribing because I have a ton of great tutorials and builds planned for you guys for this year. So for today's video, we are going to be going over my Halloween yard haunt lighting video from last season. Did it work? Let's do this!
Step right up, come on in, join the show, it's about to begin.
Probably like most of you, my display has evolved over the years. It gets larger every year. I build new animatronics and props, and I also repurpose existing props just to change things up. And with that, my lighting has also changed. As you can see here, this is from a few years ago. This is what I refer to as the Haunted Mansion color palette. You know, the greens and purples and fuchsias. And these colors are awesome, but I feel like they work best when you have multiple displays within your yard haunt, you know, like one color for each display. I was looking for a way to pull my entire graveyard into one big scene and then use accent lighting throughout. So as you can see here, this is from last season, 2024. I decided to go with blue. I came across another haunt video where somebody had said that they use blue throughout their graveyard to resemble moonlight. And it really does. You feel like you're in a movie when you're standing in front of it. It's a scene now. And with the addition of my flicker candles and my accent lighting, most of my accent lights I use are green. The colors just, they go so good together. For me. I made this blue color change a couple of years ago, but last year I really kicked it up a notch by adding even more lights throughout the display. I will link all of those in the description below, as well as my flicker candles. I do get a lot of questions about those. This part cracks me up. I'd forgotten I added this to the original yard haunt lighting video. These lights I was using up till just a few years ago in my display. None of them were waterproof. Some were not grounded. They were just not meant to be used 24/7 outdoors. So I transitioned to these lights here. I had a couple boxes of those. They worked pretty good on their own, but these lights here I added last year. The thought process at the time was to use the other lights as my front fills, and then these spotlights would be scattered throughout the haunt. This particular pack has 6 lights in it. They're daisy chained together, and they have, I think it was about 8 or 10 feet of slack between each light. Here are those front fill lights I had mentioned. Again, I will link all of these in the description. And here's where I chose to place the new lights. They're all hidden behind gravestones. And here's a nighttime shot showing the difference between them being on or off. I do say it a lot, it's difficult to capture lighting on video at nighttime. It always looks better in person. And I felt at the time that these extra lights added more depth further back into the graveyard. WC American Made 9828 says lighting can get expensive fast, but makes all the difference. You're absolutely right, man. You know, lighting for a number of years for me has always been kind of an afterthought. You know, I was always more concerned with building props and making it bigger and tombstones and fence panels and things, but it really does make a huge difference to have proper lighting. BHus2256 says they have gotten rid of all their old stuff as well, and they mentioned that they use jars with flickering lights in them hung around their haunt. Man, I would love to see that. That's a great idea. Yeah, please email me at newenglandhaunter@gmail.com if you have any pictures or video. Tony JSMT says they made some of my small spotlights my accent lights. I'll include that video in the description below as well. They use digital LED floods and colored bulbs for highlighting. Fly with Bart mentioned that they had purchased the lights that I had shown in my original video. So they were disappointed that you needed Wi-Fi upon initial setup. I do apologize, I did not mention that in the video, or if I did, it ended up on the cutting room floor. You do need Wi-Fi just upon initial setup, but once you're set up, you don't need connections to Wi-Fi at all. It's all done via Bluetooth through your, either your phone or your tablet app. Halloween yard haunt lighting, did it work? It did. I'm sure that's no surprise. I originally wasn't going to add this to the Did It Work series, but I'd kind of forgotten that I had added new lights to my display last Halloween season, and I linked those lights that I used in the description at the time. And I know some of you did purchase them because you reached out to me. So yeah, I just want to let you know that they worked great. If you're doing like a graveyard setup like I do, kind of little on the larger side where you got like rows of tombstones and things like that go further back, it's really important to get the right kind of lighting to be able to see it from the front view, but you don't want things to get lost in the background, so you do have to have accent lights and other fill lights and things throughout if you want it to be seen. That's it for today's video, guys. Thanks again for stopping by. Again, if you like this type of content, consider liking and subscribing, and we'll see you next time. Take care.